the point.
I'm Todd. Play bass.
Hi, I'm Murph. I sing, I think.
What else do you play?
Guitar, yeah.
And what else?
Nose harp, keyboards, anything you put in front of me, really. I'll get you with some form of sound out of it.
The same minus the kind of lead singer thing, but drums as well. We just all dip in and out really and out of the pool of life.
All right, so you guys are from Liverpool, and you formed as a band back in 2005, is that right?
2003.
2003. Being from the UK, what do you think was the most challenging part about bringing your music to America?
America's size, probably.
Yeah.
It obviously kind of the biggest challenge for new bands is it's not very financially viable for a lot of people. The amount of travelling to get to places and flying, but so I guess that was the biggest challenge. But thankfully we're all loaded now, and we've got people behind us who are even more loaded than we are, and we just get by somehow.
Okay, so did you think that your song "Jump Into the Fog" would get as much attention as it did here?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like I think for us, there's quite a lot of singles off the album, so we just keep throwing them until one sticks, and that happened to be the song that sticks. And
Here, at least, because you have more in the UK, right?
Yeah.
We never like when we make the songs, we never really know what's gonna really kick off anywhere in particular. And with that one, we all thought we really liked it, and we thought, oh yeah, maybe it could be. But the label at first were like, no, it's a great song, but we're not really sure that it's a single that radio will latch onto. And then it turned out that it was. So I don't think anyone really knows. It's just if enough people get excited about a song, then it obviously makes our life easier.
No, I was just going to say, because it was literally like the radio station in the UK that sort of, I heard that song, and yeah, that's the one. And if it wasn't for this one guy, he wouldn't have, done it as a single. So sometimes it can be like one person that can change the whole game.
Right.
Game changer.
That person would be referred to as the game changer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, I'm sure you've been asked this question before, but why did you decide to call yourself the Wombats?
Hey. We actually made a T-shirt that said "Why the Wombats" on it, because we've been asked that question, quite a few times.
I know. I think I know the answer, but I figured I'd ask you anyway.
This is actually Todd's favourite question.
Yeah, but I feel like I should, we should have Dan to answer the question, because he's kind of the reason we call the Wombats. He's sort of you the guilty.
There was no real reason behind it apart from it was a word that was in our vernacular at the time that we actually said to each other and called each other wombats. There was a character called Wombo the Wombat around that was in a song, I think, and it was basically just, I don't know, we needed to put something on a poster, so we put that down, and the promoter laughed, and then it stuck, really. I guess at first we were thinking of changing it, but yeah, we never did. But it's fine, we've grown into it, and it's only a name, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
And it's good because we get to go to Australia a lot as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you meet a wombat before you called yourselves the Wombats?
No, but we have done now.
No, I know that, but-
Yeah.
Have you seen the photos?
Yeah, wombats are cute.
Yeah, they've got really
the
heart-shaped
animals.
weird balls, haven't they? Like very, very white testicles. It's really
So that's a good thing for.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
For
what
your
Murph
image.
was referring to when he said that we're growing more and more like
Yeah.
wombats.
I see.
Our balls are turning white.
Becoming increasingly more grey with time.
And a poos are square as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine certainly aren't.
All right, moving on. From the balls subject.
And the poo.
Right.
Yeah.
The Wombats proudly present This Modern Glitch. How is that? That's your most recent release, right?
Yes.
So how is that different from previous albums? Sorry.
previous album.
Like you write most of the songs, correct?
Yeah.
Writing style.
I don't know. I guess there was a kind of a feeling of after the first album kind of being labelled as a party band or whatever, and I guess everyone's second album is some form of rebellion against the first. So I guess there was something, I felt like we had something more to say, something slightly maybe more diverse musically as well than on the first record, which is quite upbeat kind of party songs really, with some kind of darker lyrics. But I guess just wanted to try to say something different, do something different with the songs.
You can still dance to the songs on this album as well.
Yeah.
So I still has that got that sort of like party element to the songs, I suppose. Still, some of them, not all of them. I guess that's the difference. We got like some slow songs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Your songs, like music's always like quite high energy and fills you with upbeat feeling, and then you dig into the lyrics and you get a bit more of a downbeat feel, maybe, but with an uplifting message at the end of it, sort of. So it works quite well together, and yeah.
And like you said, you do most of the writing. Do you guys help?
Well, yeah, I mean, some songs on this album, there's kind of been ideas from a practice room or from Dan or Tord, and then I built something around it, and then but obviously things chop and change. I just come in with kind of an acoustic guitar and a voice and play something. And
lyrically, Murph does all the songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
He's the sort of wordsmith in there. Yeah.
Okay, so a fan wanted to know, and I believe she's the first in line down there right now.
There's a line already?
There is a line, about maybe 8 people.
Lansing?
Yeah, you guys sold this out. There's obviously going to be a line.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, by the way. So I believe this is her question. What are some of your inspirations for writing songs?
I don't know. I mean, I can't. Whenever I get asked this question, I don't really know, because I don't really think of like. I guess some people will listen to like a Who album or something and get inspiration from that. I don't really find any inspiration from any other kind of bands or whatever. It's more things that have happened, or stuff that I've heard, or a line that I've read, or a conversation that someone said and I've completely ripped it off.
Or a night out.
Or a night out, or generally nights out.
Going off of that, the song Techno Fan, I love it, but was that written from personal experience?
Well, it's an elaboration of a fairly dull night, really, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend dragged me to a kind of a rave in London, and she actually came out in a rash, and we went home, and I think I had like 2 drinks, but obviously in the song, it's good to make it out as though you've had a big, massive one.
Right. But so you're actually a techno fan, or no?
No, not really. No.
Basically, don't let the truth get in the way of a good yarn, isn't it?
All right, so I think currently right now you're running a contest to play in someone's living room in a certain city, right?
Yeah.
What made you want to do that? I'm curious.
We've done it once before, actually, in Glasgow. We went to one of my fans' birthday party, and we sort of played a few acoustic songs, and I guess like that was a good experience. And why not do the same thing here in the US?
Not just in one city, right?
Yeah.
Like whoever wins, whoever gets the most.
Yeah, the people have to vote.
Gotcha.
At the moment, I think is it Charlotte winning?
But obviously, like for us as well, we're on tour for so long, and we don't really have the home comforts because you're on the road. So that time that we did it in Glasgow was really nice, because there was like, it was someone's birthday party, and we had like birthday cake, and the mum and dad were there, and they were just legends, and like gave us some roast dinner and stuff, and
Nice.
it was it makes it breaks up the touring sort of not monotony, that sounds negative, but the routine. Yeah. So yeah, we do like to party, so why not party in someone's house with fans and play some music or DJ or something?
Yeah.
It's it should be fun.
Nice. Speaking of that, you guys still live in Liverpool, right?
I'm actually the only person still living
Oh.
in Liverpool, and I'm not from Liverpool because
Where are you from?
I'm Norwegian.
Oh.
But I lived there for like the last 9 years.
Oh.
But Murph lives in London and Dan lives in Paris. But when we practice and record, we all meet up in Liverpool.
Amsterdam.
Okay, so can I ask you, when you're here in the U.S., what do you miss most from your home cities? Besides the obvious answers, family and friends. Like,
Nothing really.
is there any like let's say, coffee shops or parks or...
Maybe a bit of grass, maybe, you know, a really nice restaurant very close by. But apart from that, nothing really.
Junkies, we do love being on the road. One thing I miss sometimes, actually, the first thing that came into my head, which always seems to be what comes out of my mouth anyway, was there's a shop just near in Paris, that the fishmongers, and they do these lovely like anchovies with garlic and chili, and it's just amazing. And I eat them.
Sounds
like,
disgusting.
every day, basically. When he sees me now, it's literally like this weird English guy who just comes along, and all I buy is anchovies. And he goes, same again. I'm like, yes, please. And he just hands me a box of anchovies, and I just trundle off and slap them all down. And then rub myself in the oil.
Right, yeah, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah,
Just,
I miss that, basically.
All right, so since you've been touring so much and you love being on the road, do you have any embarrassing moments from any certain performance?
Yeah, one from yesterday. I played in, the first song with first two. Was it the first two? I can't remember. First song with my fly down.
Oh, yeah.
There was actually a comment on the media
Yeah.
sites of the world.
But I never like kind of look at I basically just pick a point at the back of a room and stare at that when I'm singing. So
You didn't see
I couldn't look at the front row going, "Your cock's out," or whatever, you know. So it just kind of stayed down there. But thankfully, my balls and cock didn't fall out, which was good.
Did you see any ball soup or anything?
No ball soup. Well, I mean that's kind of see-through. Well, actually, no, it's not. But I don't know. There might have been some boxer shorts on show. I don't know.
If you were in a punk band, you wouldn't have that problem because your guitar would have been further down.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't as bad as when we did the boat party in Liverpool, and you actually ended up having to get like parts of his, you know, genitalia like gaffered to his inner thigh, basically.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we did a fancy dress. Oh, you explain it.
Yeah, we all dressed up as women in skirts and socks, and it was really weird, really, when you come to think about it. And then,
So it looked really hard.
yeah, and then, I think I was just moving around, and my skirt was obviously coming up. My skirt was obviously, and my boxer shorts, you know, were quite baggy, so obviously things were jiggling around in there, and so Dougie just had to sellotape. It wasn't Dan's making my manhood sound very large here, but he just sellotaped the kind of end of my boxer shorts to the inside of my thighs so that, so that my balls or cock basically fall out.
With hindsight, we should have had a band practice dressed as girls to, you know, really go through the motions and see what it was going to be like. Because I did that as well. We've done this far too many times. Actually, we played in Bestival on the Isle of Wight, right on the south coast of England, and it was like pirates and wenches. That was the theme. So I dressed up as a wench, but again hadn't practiced wearing like a short skirt, with just boxies on. And obviously when I sit down at the drums and the front row are over there, skirt don't really have much to, you know. So I realised halfway through, oh shit, it's a bit windy down there. Like I'm just feeling the breeze on me nads all the time, and yeah. There were a few crowd members, I think, kind of going with a microscope, like just trying to have a little gander, but they probably couldn't say anything anyway. Probably thought it was a wart.
Or just like a freckle in their eye. Just a dead cellar, a floater in their eye. But we also fall over a lot towards falling over and
I've done that a few times.
Well, you're kind of crazy. Yeah. Speaking of that whole thing. What?
No, it's not.
No, speaking of going crazy, actually it's not a good segue into this next question, but long story short, I lived in San Diego this past year before I moved back here, and you guys did that trolley show? On the trolley show. I worked with those guys. I was taking pictures, but unfortunately I couldn't make it to yours. But what did you think about that?
That was awesome.
Yeah,
It was really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we just sat down by, you know, people who didn't know who we were, or they were just randomers on the train, and we just started playing. Really?
Yeah.
It looks good and sounded good as well. I watched it the other day, so.
Yeah, I think they do a pretty good job, like with the sound and everything. I just wanted to know.
It was surprising. I didn't expect. I would have just thought you'd just hear,
Right.
you know.
No, it's actually good, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually had to go to your show at the Casbah that night, though. It was fun.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was very relaxed.
Was that sold out? I think that was sold out.
was pretty close. It was better than the first time we played there. It was great, yeah.
Oh, you played there twice.
Yeah, but like in 2000 and... Was it 2008? Yeah.
I guess we can wrap this up with, since you guys have toured so much in the U.S., you've obviously been around a lot of Americans with American accents. So I'd like to hear your best American accent from each of you.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah, boy, that's no problem. I can talk like this all day. That's a little bit more down the south,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
It's not quite up here.
That's pretty good. Okay.
I can't. Seriously.
Just try.
What's the worst thing?
All right, say I'm going to go down the street and get a hot dog.
I'm gonna go down the street and have a hot dog.
Not bad. Not bad. All right, your turn.
Get me a fucking Coke float.
Give me some cheese and ice.
Give me some cheese and ice with that, boy.
A Coke float.
Coke float.
Yeah?
Don't know what it is. I don't know.
Just Coke and ice cream.
Came out of nowhere, that one.
Yeah.
Coke and ice cream,
Wow.
yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
I like yours the best, though.
Can you do an English accent, please?
I don't think I can do a Liverpool, or what is it called?
Yeah, Scouse.
What?
Scouts.
Is it really? Oh, no one told me that. They were told me it was called a Liverpudlian.
Puddling.
Duh. Yes. Okay, what do you want me to say? I'm here with the Wombats backstage in Lansing.
Hey, that's not
If you don't catch them tonight because the show is sold out, go to Pontiac on later this month, right?
It's definitely there's an English
Yeah.
vibe to it. Yeah, no, I think
When is that Pontiac show?
An American person does a decent English accent.
Was that decent?
Yeah. But you couldn't like pinpoint it. It was just like a generic.
It wasn't from a certain area.
Where you're
Yeah.
from.
I watch a lot of Harry Potter, so that's probably where I get it from.
Potter. But it's even hard for us to speak like that, like, you know, very well spoken and Potter. It's a bit like my father, actually.
Got a little American there, though.
Yeah, well, probably is. Right?
Yeah.
Trying to go and beast off in the toilet.
All right, well, this is fun, you guys.